Hello, I'm Nathan Rockhold, founder and CEO of Rock Solid Labs. Today, I'm going to do a short demo of the Rock Solid Runtime. I'm going to go ahead and click on the runtime. The Rock Solid Interactive Runtime allows you to actually test and create JavaScript code that will interface with the Rock Solid Infrastructure Manager API. These code snippets can then be ran in jobs that are in cron-style fashion across the cluster. The first thing I'm going to do is actually type help. Inside the runtime, we have specific built-in special functions or special variables, like underscore node is the actual local node. You can get remote JSON just by calling that function, and it returns the actual JavaScript object. The RS run actually invokes the code and runs it and gives you back the response. And then you have a bunch of built-in functions that allow you to interface with all of the capabilities of the RSIM API. So why don't I start by doing something like pasting a little bit of code here. I'm going to go ahead and get the cluster containers, so the containers that exist in the cluster. And for each one of those containers, I'm going to call a function and pass that container in it, which will say, if it's stopped, I'm going to start it. Otherwise, I'm going to just console log the status. And this RS run actually invokes the runtime. So as you can see, I have these containers. They were all running, but this allows you to do some very interesting things. Like, let's go ahead and give you a demo of maybe interfacing with the actual Elastic service that is actually running on all those systems. So we're going to see if the service is Elastic, and whether it is, we're going to actually get the JSON. So as you can see there, we went and found all of the containers that actually were running that service, which we then got the IP address of that container based on its JSON that was returned. And then we wanted to get the remote JSON of the Elastic service, and then we're just going to console log the actual JSON there. As you can see, there's the 10 nodes inside of the Elastic cluster with detailed information of this. This gives you kind of a look into the capabilities of how you could dynamically grow or shrink your given application based on actual feedback from inside your application, and then calling functions that exist inside of RSIM. Another interesting thing is let's say you wanted to actually see what the local BIOS version was on a given system. Or let's say you wanted to actually see all BIOS versions that exist in the cluster. It's going to give you back those. You do things like serial numbers, all kinds of physical information to actually learn about what's inside your cluster, to actually make smarter decisions on where to actually place your workload as well. So these are just a few features and functions that exist inside of the Rock Solid Runtime, which really empowers the user to do some very powerful things to both manage, monitor, and truly use software-defined infrastructure.